God, that's the wrong key. Totally. Damn it. That is a terrible way to start a gathering. I apologize. Shit. The boy wakes up from his dream, jumps out of bed, he knows he will conquer the world. He looks up at the sun and he smiles, cause his light shines just as bright. Ooh. And all the people he went into his mind join the chorus of his heart and lost your badness to be time. In the haphazard motion of his dreary dismal day, he brings a song in from within his memory. He knows that lack of direction breaks the intuition of the undaunted mind. Ooh. Singing softly to avoid a scene, stifles voices in his heart that wanna scream, I am free. I am free. He sings all the time, prophecies in rhythm and in rhyme. And if you listen very closely, you can hear him sing the words. He sings out, I am the cinnamon, make the angels swoon. I am the wine with your coat, give myself to fill the year. If I die before I wake, pray my friends my soul to take. When my bleeding heart runs through my six breasts, will ring out true, ring out true. Cheers, y'all. Good to be with you. Good to be with you. The ramble is over. Oh my gosh. We are, money is still coming in. Believe it or not. We are at like $54,000 raised so far. I don't know if you understand just how incredible that is. I mean, we thought with our festival, literally our 10-year festival not happening, taking it online, if we raised half that, it would have been a grand slam. And amazing. So, ramble's over. And And we got new business to start attending to. One is the Gathering Series Live. Already, your applications are coming in. Thank you for that. That's going to be a really fun adventure over these next couple months. But possibly more important than that, we are going to really start digging in to our next studio release. Right now we are working with 15 songs, but I think we got to probably add Devil's Kiss and Wasted Words to that list. And so as you may or may not know, 17 songs don't really fit on an album. As you may or may not know, it doesn't really matter because people aren't really buying albums anymore. How are we going to release them? What order are we going to release them in? How are we going to produce all these songs? What is the list? What is the master 17-song list? I'm really excited to start sharing all that with you because it's time. It's time for the next studio release. But before we do that, I thought it would be a fun exercise to go from the very beginning, and work our way through the 18 albums that either myself or me and my bandies have released. And we're going to start here. See how fancy I'm getting? I don't know what possessed me to wear shorts in that photo shoot. It is not a good album cover, really. I know that I wanted to choose a shot of me walking away because back then I wanted people to like me for my music and not from my face. Yep, that was it. That was little me. And so you may have heard that song, that last song that I played, a little differently than a version maybe you're more familiar with. It's now called A Boy's Song, and it's been rewritten, but that was the original version. It was called The Boy, and it was track 1 on that album. It was the first song on my first release. It was the first song I ever played at my first open mic. Whew. So let's just go front to back on this album, huh? We might not get through it because I have got a new old song I want to share with you. And man, it's a doozy today. But we'll get there. Let's play a couple songs first, huh? I know Karina is moderating tonight. I'm going to be extra thoughtful about my tuning. Running around is making me dizzy. I have to look away. You're talking too much, yeah. Talking in circles. Relax, we've got all day. And it looks like it's been a while since you have eased your mind. So sit back, enjoy the fire. Who knows what we will find? And you sit and tend to the fire, and I see the corn getting higher. And no matter where the wind may blow, you will always be always be home. Yeah. I work hard, I work all day, and I hum to myself. Well, it helps to pass the time when there is no one else, and a long day passes slowly as sweat stays on my brow. But I know I will make it through as long as I make myself remember. I sit and I look to the sky, and I see the corn getting higher. And no matter where the wind may blow, yeah, I will always be home. I will always be home, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, inch by inch, corn it will grow until it's cut down to the grind. And each spring this vicious cycle will again turn around. But I've learned something from this year's crops and conspicuous wisdom, because they'll refuse to go before leaving a sweet taste on my tongue. And you sit and tend to the fire, and I see the corn getting higher. And no matter where the wind may blow, you will always be home. And I sit and I look to the sky, and I see the corn getting higher. And no matter where the wind may blow, I will always be home. I will always be home. We will always be home. Okay. That was a song called The Corn Song. Inspired by a conversation I had with my ma, who I got to visit today. Picked up some groceries, did some socially distanced hanging in the backyard for a little while. That was nice. Thanks for the claps and the love. Well, that was track 2 on my first album. Track 3 is one played at the Ramble at Karina's request. And man, the way we arranged it and performed it at the Ramble, I'd never done anything like that. The song had never sounded like that before, and that was really cool, I thought. This is a song called Naive Little Me. It's one of my songs that's just got a bucket full of words. If you like a good, I'm torn apart and kind of pissed off about it, heartbroken kind of a song, this might be right up your alley. And since the mission when Karina and I were playing our set was to play really sad songs, we brought out all the sadness in this tune. But it's cool how if you play the same song a couple different ways, it can be expressing different elements of the things that the song is addressing, right? This is how it's first released. When we released it with the band later on, right? There was this grooving, you know. When we get up to the View from the Root album, I'll play it that way. And then, of course, my version with Karina was, you know. But we're playing the original version tonight. I would breathe in your skin once the soap smell was gone, when we'd lie around the house with the radio on. But naive little me, innocent fawn, never realized I had you on loan. If I could bottle that smell, I could sustain this old smile like a puff from the bowl. It might numb me. Drink you like wine. All I taste is the bile from the indifference I heard in your tone. Don't leave me here all night. Well, you left with the fanfare, a big old parade, a scene at the palace. Impetuous slave couldn't keep his mouth shut even after forbade, for he dreamed of a seat at your throne. Well, this must have amused you. The jester was here to dance in your presence, desperate to see just one glimpse in his eyes, be it love or pity, but not such human a gesture. Call you as underworld bound with cursed virtuous pets. You paid chained to the ground. it is unresolved, and I've doubled my ante. I've scratched and I've clawed, and I'm battered and beaten like some back alley dog made of nothing but skin and bone. So I got down a letter, I will sing and I'll pray, and it will help to console me in some self-indulged way. So fuck you, my darling. I'll see you someday when it's sturdy heart I have won. So let me here on my own. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, ooh, all right. Yep. For those of you that just coming in, oh man, there was a great. I was telling a story about misheard lyrics and Turtles misheard lyrics, and I looked down right during the second verse, and Brian had perfectly placed Turtles bottle. All in caps, just like he was yelling at in my right ear on stage. It made me laugh. Thanks for that. I don't get to see most of the comments, but every once in a while, one of them will hit me hard. Thanks for the claps, y'all. For those of you just tuning in, we are featuring this old album. Now, be forewarned, it is the first thing I ever released in 2000. I was 22 years old. Just turning 23. My voice had not been beat up by years and years of 5-hour sets and whiskey and growing into my man body and all that kind of stuff. And so I do kind of sound a little bit when it's mostly Karina. When Karina really wants to make fun of me, she will sing one of the songs from this album in her highest, most falsetto voice, reminding me how how different my voice used to be, and that's kind of I don't know. It used to be it's kind of cool, I guess, when I look back on these old albums and the old way that I used to sound and the way that I used to write songs and how it's shifted over the years. While some of it feels very much not like me anymore, it is kind of cool to get to check it all out. And that's certainly going to be the case with the new song, the new song I'm going to share with you tonight, which I will do after one more. I'm going to play one more song from this album. I recorded and released that album out of Chicago, Illinois, where I was living that first year out of college, working by day as the recess guy at an elementary school, playing by night at as many open mics as I could play at. Chicago's such a cool city, man. And there is so much music. It is a vastly huge city, and there is so much music. There's so much, there's, incredible blues history in that city, as well as jazz. And man, some of that certainly, I was living with two brothers, Jeff and Rob Stone, in Chicago, and they both taught at the school where I was the elementary school recess guy. Rob was and still is today, Rob Stone, a great blues artist, harmonica player, was on tour with a guy named Sam Lay, but was doing all the big festivals, and you can check out you should check out Rob Stone and the C Notes when you get a chance. And it's some good stuff. Anyways, I would go to a lot of their gigs just to check it out and listen to blues and think about the history and the roots of the music that I'd grown up listening to, and learn a couple things. And I was really inspired by some of those guys, kind of from the Delta, that were really doing the finger picking thing, right? And that's what inspired this next song. It's called The Flood. As you're listening to this song, and you know what, the guitar's a little bit low on this. Hold on, I'm gonna just adjust this so you can see. Oh gosh, a tiny bit better. Okay. See my thumb? So if I was just using my thumb, those guys, man, they would do that with their thumb. They would keep the bass line with their thumb, and then they would use their fingers to create melody lines on. Right? So this is my attempt at kind of paying tribute to that style as best I could. I do not even come close to doing it justice. But it is a style of guitar that has always really impressed me, and I love listening to it whenever I can. Rain came down all in my bed. Rain came down all in my bed. The rain came back and it went ahead. River's too wide to cross in time. River's too wide to cross in time. But you know, a river don't cross my mind. Rising tide wash away my time. The rising tide wash away my town. No, the rising tide shall bring me down. Rain came down, all in my bed. Nope. The rain came down, all in my eyes. The rain came down, all in my eyes. But compared to my tears, the rain felt dry. I said, compared to my tears, the rain fell dry. I said, next to my tears, compared to my tears, compared to my tears, the rain fell dry. Okay. Yep. I really love that stuff, and because I love it, it's a little bit hard for me to decide to play that song because I know it's not really doing the thing, right? It's not quite doing the thing that I want it to yet, but I do really like that song. My mom always tells me that I should play that song more often because she loves it. Thank you for the claps. Okay. Things are about to get really weird. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that right now. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's about to get weird. It's about to get real weird. I'm going to play a song I've never shared before. Probably for good reason. Now, now, as you all know at this point, and you know, if you are watching, if this is your first gathering, you really you just dove into the deep end of the pool, because we're really going back. And I'm going to use an analogy that I've used to death for those of you that have been here most nights, but I'm going to just keep doing it. That, and this helps me, right? When you go to see an exhibit from a painter in a museum, there are lots of paintings that are in frames. Paintings for which the painter said, okay, this is ready to be presented, and this is how I want to paint it, or this is how I want to present it. And then there's sometimes there's a room with that painter's that artist's sketches, right? Maybe the artist was also experimenting with some different medium, and it's in this room, and I love those rooms. I love seeing the unfinished pieces. I love seeing the experiments, right? Not all of them worked, maybe, and for me, constructing songs was never yes. I always had an eventual audience in mind, but I was not creating songs for consumption necessarily, and I was trying lots of different stuff, especially in these early years. And this was a song that I wrote a couple years after this first album. So you got to picture it, right? Like this almost, and I've been playing it a lot, and I've been trying to relearn the words to this song, because there are a lot of words to this song. It's almost as if you can almost picture it like this kind of like heretical animated story, right? You almost got to visualize these absurd characters that are in this song for it to even kind of make sense, right? I think when I was writing it, I almost pictured them kind of. It's kind of like my version of what would be happening up on Mount Olympus. You know, if I were creating the gods, sort of, and the gods acted a little more like Muppets than like gods. That's what I'm talking about. That's the weirdness. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna make sure this is. Here it is. Start that again. God who sees every move we make. You think he has a face like yours and mine? Well, I hoped to God I'd see him face to face, so I could say thanks for the nice time. And I've been wandering round this gutter hole of a mind, looking for loose change and a soft regress. And if I ever gave you something kind, it was dumb luck, I guess. It was dumb luck, I guess. Troubled mind, it's got me creeping through conundrums every time. I confess this happiness, you can chalk it up to dumb luck, I guess. Well, I scurried out from under my mossy little log, laid out upon the prickly brown autumn leaves in the noonday sun. I took a nap until about 3:30, then had myself a little fun. I flew up to where the legends go. They hold secret parties in a place we'd never think they'd be. Lucky for me, it was a place I know, between the devil and the deep blue sea. Between the devil and the deep blue sea. And my eyes did see the glory of a smoky wooden room. Every hand held a goblet filled with the setting sun, and their laughter held down upon this sleeping world as compact discs in typhoons spun. Most of them were huddled around the center table, placing bets on a sight that I never thought I'd see. Jesus and Muhammad playing Rochambeau, and the score was 3-3. The score was 3-3. Troubled mind, it's got me creeping through conundrums every time. And I would confess this happiness, you can chalk it up to dumb luck, I guess. not to be seen. Good thing it was behind the polka game. Well, the quartet of illicit cognizance were playing well and putting their demons to shame. And the giver of life and candy, he leaned heavy on the bar. He held his booze about as good as a rusty sink. And he was flirting with the nymph of lust and greed. And she was giving him a little wink. She was giving him a little wink. And the flamboyant, extroverted angels, they all danced in a row, while the obese tyrant of merciless rebuke reached down and ate them one by one. Well, the seeker of truth and nuts raced across the room with his twin, the gatherer of berries and wisdom. Well, the seeker kicked hard at the tyrant's belly, while the gatherer jumped on his head and clawed at his face. And I swear, the tyrant let out a mighty belch, and the angels popped back into place. They started dancing in the same old place. Troubled mind, troubled mind, it's got me creeping through conundrums every time. And I confess, this happiness can chalk it up to dumb luck, I guess. Well, I found grace in the arms of the mistress of folly. They looked such a pretty sight. And I asked her how she knew it was meant to be. She said, man, she's just my type. And then they led me to the big man's chair. He had too much to drink that day, and his cigar lay in his sleeping hand, kept burning by eternal flame, kept burning by eternal flame. And the smoke rose in zigzags, writing prophecies on the ceiling, so profound I had to look away. Well, I grabbed that cigar and I ran like hell to where I could safely play. I dared not puff, for I feared the wrath of knowledge. I just danced and let the smoke curl on through, and forge upon the wall my prophecy, which I will someday give to you, yeah. Which I will someday give to you. Troubled mind, troubled mind, it's got me creeping through conundrums every time. I confess, this happiness, you can chalk it up to dumb luck, I guess. You can chalk it up to dumb luck, I guess. You know, as the months have been passing along, I would ask myself from time to time, am I gonna share that song at some point? And I never quite answered myself until today. So there you have it. It's called Troubled Mind, and it is a song I've never shared with anyone before, except for my mom, I think. So there you have it. It does need Muppets, doesn't it? It does need some kind of a visual something. It's more of just a story put to bouncy guitar, and the story itself is a little bizarre. Anyways, thanks for listening. I saw Troy's comment. Lots to unpack. I don't know if he was referencing a conversation. See, I'm never quite sure if a comment is like part of a conversation or it's referencing the song. And if it was referencing the song, I agree. Lots to unpack. Yes, Stephen, we definitely need Dr. Teeth and the Electric Man to play that song while the Muppets are doing a dramatic interpretation of the story. Yep. Should we get back to work? God, we can probably sneak in 2 songs here. So we'll play one more off the album before we sign off. We are featuring this album, and we only got a handful of songs through, but we'll finish it tomorrow. And if we finish, we'll go on to our second album ever released, which I believe is called Sessions. And we're just gonna go up through the library until we get to present time. Once we get to present time, we're gonna start really focusing on the contenders for the next album. We're gonna be digging in pretty hard. We've been in the studio a bunch. We've got a bunch of video that we want to share with you, and it's gonna be, I think, a fun journey to bring you along for the creation of this album. It could be pretty cool. So, anyways, okay. Well, if I'm gonna go, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Just because I wanted to talk a little bit about the next song, there are really the next 2 tracks I wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna skip those and I'm gonna play them tomorrow. I feel like we need a good sign off or a good pre-toast song. So I'm gonna play Time Being. And again, I like this song. This song is not a song I would write these days, right? But this song, unlike The Flood, which really came from kind of the Delta blues that I was listening to, this feels like it was coming from some of the more jazz-inspired things I was listening to. I am very far from ever being able to consider anything that I write jazzy, but this is but I was interested in pushing myself in all directions I could, musically and artistically, and so I was writing stuff that sounded like all different kind of things. So and I guess, you know, it probably made for a really slow journey through professionalism, right? But that's okay. It's been a good journey. remember the first line of my own song. I practiced this for you too. I'm gonna start on verse 2. Hopefully I'll remember it. Walking down the road. Oh, I got it. Sitting back and looking round. Standing up and looking down. Open wide and drinking time. Let it slide right down my throat. Let it dribble down my chin. Let it fill me up and send me on my way. Walking down the windy road. Kicking pebbles as I go. Looking through my favorite eyes. And perspective plants my feet. 'Cause conundrums won't be solved tonight, no, no. And I throw caution to the wind that blows my mind. Dig my toes down in the sand. Eating ice cream from my hand. Talking to myself again. Because who else needs to know that I feel higher than the ground. That's all I need to know. Okay. Well, it's a lot of music and a lot of albums to dig through. But I feel like we got it in us, gatherers. We got ourselves a project for the fall. I'll be doing this in between our band shows whenever we have time, and we'll just keep chipping away. Raise up your glasses. Let us drink to the wind at our backs. May it always blow steady wherever you roam. May you turn when you're ready to carry you home. May it keep you ahead of the rain. Raise up your glasses. Let us drink to the heavens above. Some say it's a glimpse of God's great design. Some say it's the signs of all things combined. May we look up and always feel wonder. Here is to us all that we see. Here's to our hearts and the air that we breathe. raise up your glasses. Let us drink to this time that we had. For these moments pass lightly, won't come again. May our lives all burn brightly, right up to the end. May we live them with joyous abandon. Raise up your glasses. Let us drink to the end of the day. Let us drink to the way when the working is through. Let us drink one to me. Let us drink one to you. Let us drink one to those who aren't with us. Here is to us and all that we see. Here's to our hearts and the air that we breathe. Here's to the land in good company. Here's to the future. Here's to the past. Let us drink one down slow. Let us drink one down fast. Let us drink one as if this night is our last. Here's to the drink that we share. Oh, here's to the drink that we share. Thank you, friends, for being with me tonight. Thanks, Karina, for being our spokesperson on Adam Ezra group. Thanks to my friends at Rally Sound. What do you say? Should we do it again tomorrow? Okay. Please stay safe. Keep on looking out for one another. And I'll see you tomorrow. Oh my gosh.